All right, let's talk about something that's important to every single one of us, going home safe at the end of the day. Today, we're going to look at the single most powerful tool we have at Golden State Connection to make sure that happens.
So let me just ask you, what do you think is the most important piece of safety gear in our whole warehouse? Is it the hard hat, steel-toed boots, maybe the horn on a forklift?
Look, all those things are absolutely critical, no doubt about it. But the single most important tool we have for preventing accidents, it's not something you can wear. It's something you know. It's information. Because understanding exactly why and how things go wrong is the only way we can ever hope to stop them from happening again.
And that's where this comes in. This is our #1 tool for capturing that vital information, the Workplace Incident Report. It's not just a bunch of paperwork. It's literally our blueprint for a safer warehouse.
So let's break down how this whole thing works. Here's what we're going to cover. First, why every single incident, big or small, really matters. Then, how to capture the scene, document what happened, get from the cause to a real correction, and finally, how to wrap up the report.
Okay, first things first, and I really need to be crystal clear on this point. This report is all about prevention. It is not about blame. The whole reason we do this is to learn and improve our systems. It's never, ever about getting someone in trouble.
So what even counts as an incident? Well, it's actually a lot broader than you might think. Obviously, any kind of injury or illness counts. But here's the crucial part. So do near misses, any property damage, or even just spotting a safety hazard. Reporting a near miss is like a gift. It lets us fix a problem before anyone actually gets hurt.
All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts of the report itself. This first part is all about one thing, capturing the objective facts of what happened.
I want you to think of sections 1 through 4 like you're a detective showing up at the scene. We need the basics. What kind of incident was it? Who was involved? What happened? And where did it happen? The key here is to be fast, be clear, and just stick to the facts.
Let's take section 1, for example. You can, and you absolutely should, check every single box that applies. So let's say a box falls from a high rack, but luckily no one's underneath it. Well, that's not just one thing, right? It's a falling object for sure. It's also a near miss. And it's a safety hazard identified. Checking all 3 of those gives us the whole story in a single glance.
Now, for sections 2 and 3, details matter. List everyone was involved and then describe exactly what went down. This is not the place for opinions or guessing games. Just state the facts. Employee A was operating a forklift in aisle 5. A box fell from rack 5B. Boom. Simple, objective, and perfectly clear.
Okay, next up, we need to document the immediate fallout. This is where we record the consequences, everything that happened right after the incident itself.
Sections 5 and 8 are basically our immediate response checklists. Did somebody need medical attention? Did we get the area secured? Was a supervisor looped in right away? Did we have to take a piece of equipment out of service? This tells the story of how we handle the situation in those first critical moments.
Then, in sections 6 and 7, we get down to any damage to property or equipment, and just as important, who saw what happened. You know the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's so true here. And getting a statement from a witness can give us a totally different and critical perspective. Don't skip these.
Now we get to the most important part of this whole process. We've got the what, the where, the when. But now we have to ask the big question. Why did it happen? This is where real prevention actually begins.
So in section 9, the report asks us to dig a little deeper into the root cause. And it's usually one of 2 things. Was it an unsafe act? A behavior, like someone not using the right lifting technique? Or was it an unsafe condition, something in the environment, like a wet floor with no warning sign? Figuring out which one it was, or if it was a little of both, is the key to finding the right fix.
And that leads us right into section 10. Once we've nailed down that root cause, we have to come up with a corrective action. It's a logical path. If the cause was a leaky pipe, the action is to fix the pipe. Simple. If the cause was an unsafe act, maybe the action is more training. The whole goal is to find one specific action that will stop this exact thing from ever happening again.
All right, we're in the home stretch now. Let's talk about the final steps of the process. This is where we make it all official and, more importantly, where we commit to actually making a change. Section 11 is a big one. It's a critical legal check. It basically helps us determine if the incident was severe enough that we're legally required to report it to OSHA, and fast, within 8 hours. So yeah, this is a super important step for making sure we're compliant and taking care of our team.
And finally, there's the management review in Section 12. Look, when a supervisor or a manager puts their signature on this form, it's not just a rubber stamp, it's a promise. It is a commitment from leadership that the corrective actions we came up with will actually happen. It's our accountability checkpoint. And that's really the big takeaway here. Filling out this form isn't about dwelling on a mistake that happened in the past. It's about building a better future. Your report today, honestly, it builds a safer warehouse for every single one of us tomorrow. So I'll just leave you with this one question. The next time you see something, a little spill, a pallet that looks kind of wobbly, a close call with a forklift, what are you going to do? You've got the tool, you've got the knowledge, you have the power to make a real difference. Let's use it.